これがレクイエム。
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy ShoSaga with another video, and today talking about Dragon Quest, like the franchise 11, 12, pretty much everything I have knowledge of. Now, here's one thing, right? Now, Dragon Quest 11 came, first thing, I'm actually a little bit under the weather, as you can kind of tell. You kind of hear my stuffy nose, but I still like to make videos, so here we are. Now that I got that out the way, I'm gonna talk about Dragon Quest 11 really quick. I actually did not get a chance to enjoy this game as many fans have enjoyed Dragon Quest releases. Now for me, I am a big JRPG fan, but I've never dabbled into the Dragon Quest franchise, like ever. I do know that there was a PS2, it was one of the PS2 games that's very popular, and I played a little bit of that, but I never really got into the franchise. I really call myself a JRPG lover, but you know, I've never really touched these games. I'm mostly a Final Fantasy person, a little bit of Trails of Cold Steel, you know, just some of the other JRPGs out there. So Dragon Quest actually dropped in July 29th, 2017. And when I played it, it had to be around like 2018. I think I got it on sale. I said, oh, Dragon Quest? I heard it was a good game. You know, I guess I'll try it. When I actually tried it, I hated the game. I hated it so much. I don't know what it was. There's something about it that turned me off. I didn't feel like really just sitting there and just really clicking on buttons and stuff. And me, generally, I love turn-based combat. I mean, I play a ton of turn-based games. Matter of fact, one of the new Yakuza games, the Yakuza games going forward are going to be turn-based or JRPG. I like to bring this game up a lot in my videos, simply because it has a lot of the things that, you know, surprised me. I thought the series wouldn't be good as a JRPG turn-based, but it was amazing. I bring it up this time to say I pretty much love any turn-based game, but for some reason this one really irked me. I don't know what it was. The aesthetic, I don't know, honestly couldn't tell you what it was that really turned me off of this game until 2 years after the Dragon Quest game dropped. They were talking about making a definitive version. Basically, this version would be a lot of added on content of the game, ability to play the game in like the original 8-bit mode, or not necessarily original, but in the style of the original games. You were able to do that. It was a lot more content. It was basically the Ultimate Edition. Now, I've seen games do this a lot. Even now, this guy started on Switch and is now moving to the PlayStation systems, and basically they are now getting a complete version. I'm saying this to say this is a very common practice. This is something that's simply normal. So it's not as though I was surprised or anything like that. I honestly expected it as much. But the reason why I actually tried to try it again was when it released on Switch. And this was the Switch first time getting this. And for me, at this point in time, I was buying everything the Switch had to offer. So I looked at this game and I said, hey, do I really want to spend my hard-earned money to buy this game that I know I did not like on PS4? In fact, I didn't want to say I hated it, but I pretty much really disliked it. I felt like though it was kind of boring. I don't really know what turned me off of the game originally. Well, before I really get into why the Switch made me love this game, let's talk about a little bit of background information for those who don't know really what Dragon Quest 11 is about. Now, obviously, this game is developed and published by Square Enix, some of the GOATs of the JRPG franchises, you know, also known for Final Fantasy, and a lot of like great JRPGs. I think they do Bravely Default too. Now, when I originally said it came out in 2017, I was really talking about the Japan version. You know, they generally get everything first because, you know, that's where everything is based. We actually got it a year later. So by the time I played it, it had to have been later on that year. And then really like exactly a year later, it came out for PS4. Now, one thing I did not know when I was doing a little bit of research on this is that apparently this game released on the 3DS. I had no idea this released on the 3DS. I did know that Dragon Quest has a long history of making 3DS games and DS games and basically working a lot with Nintendo, but I had no earthly idea that this game was actually based around the 3DS at one point. That's crazy to think about. Now, one piece of fun fact information, that this game is actually, the designs for this game, at least some of them, I think most of them if I'm not mistaken, is actually designed by Akira Toriyama. This guy is basically the father of modern anime. Because don't get me wrong, I know there was a lot of anime before Dragon Ball Z, but it just seems like obviously Dragon Ball Z has influenced so many different anime that at this point they don't even count it as like the big four. It's just that Dragon Ball Z is in a league of its own. But basically, yeah, designs made by that guy. Now, another little tidbit of information I found out while doing research is basically this game was initially meant to be open world, which, thinking about it, would have been crazy, but Obviously, they scrapped the idea because it just didn't fit in their storyline. And I honestly, if I'm being honest, it's better that way. I feel like the fact that it wasn't a fully open world experience just made it better. A lot of people, apparently, a lot of critics and stuff, really had some stuff to say about the game being basically very traditional, which is something that I found to really love toward the end of the game, well, at least towards the midway point. I really started to get into the game, and I didn't care that it was traditional. I just loved the style. Now, last thing, obviously, if you don't know, the main character in this game is called the Luminary, and this guy is actually featured in Smash. Now, this is one thing I think was really cool for Smash. It's their first time implementing a Dragon Quest character, and they basically gave us every Dragon Quest character, at least every important one. They basically gave us a lot of the different Dragon Quest heroes, and I think that's awesome. But the real reason I decided to actually make this video, halfway through it, is basically just talk about DQ12. Because like I said, this game in particular, going back to that Switch thing and how Switch made me love this game, honestly, it's portable, and that's pretty much it. It was portable in its definitive edition. If you don't know me, one thing I really love is when another game gets a better edition and it just looks better and plays better, which is why I will be picking up the Disgaea 6 Complete Edition for the PlayStation and other systems. When that actually comes out, we'll be playing that, because I'm a guy that falls into that trap, Basically, I love when games decide to throw you a little bit of a curveball and, come out with a complete edition, but it's like new and added content. The reason why I want to talk about DQ12 for just a short bit is that generally I heard it was going to be a more of a darker game, and I felt like this game wasn't as dark as it could have been, but it was plenty dark. There was a lot of different things going on in this game. Without spoilers, I can't really say too much, but this game was kind of dark, especially with the backstory between like the Luminary and stuff. Just generally, I think the game necessarily didn't have a darker tone. It honestly felt very happy, very lucky, with a little bit of despair mixed in. I also felt the characters to be kind of interesting, in this game in particular. I think that they can definitely do with a little bit darker characters, because a lot of the characters, honestly, like I said, the main character, his backstory was kind of sad. It was kind of dark. So I'm actually curious to see really what they could do to make it a completely dark series. This one in general wasn't really as happy-go-lucky as I thought it was going to be. Maybe that's the reason why it turned me off, because I felt like it was just going to be very one-dimensional. Considering how traditional it already seemed, it just seemed like it was going to be dated. But in reality, I guess for me, this is my favorite one because I've only played the one. And it makes anything that looks traditional to me, it feels new in comparison. But with that being said, guys, what is your favorite DQ game? And if you don't have a favorite and you just played 11 and you like 11, what was it that you loved about 11? For me, it was keeping it traditional with the JRPG turn-based format. I love the creatures, I love the designs. The main character looks just like Trunks. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.